What's going on, guys? Today we're going to make a Supreme bot so we can automatically order off NewYorkSupreme.com when new product drops occur. So just to give you guys a little bit of background on this specific project here, so Supreme does product drops every Thursday at I think about 11 o'clock. And I've had a few friends and actually a few people that have contacted me to make automation scripts so that they can actually get in on these product drops and either flip the products or do whatever, just wear the clothes. So yeah, I thought it would be a good idea just to show you guys to do this project with you guys. And if you guys do like Supreme clothing or anything like that, it's definitely useful. And besides that, it's good basic browser automation with Python, so it'll be a good thing for you guys to get started with if you're doing this with Python. I'm intentionally making this video extremely simple because I think if people are coming to this wanting to make Supreme bots, I think this would be a great introduction for programming or to programming for them. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and just run it for you guys. Sorry for the long-winded introduction. And here we go. So it launches Google Chrome for us. It immediately goes to this product page, adds the product to cart, and then it goes ahead and fills in all of our information here. So again, it's not super fast. I'm a little frustrated by how slowly it fills in this information, but besides that, it's pretty good. This is where where it would come to you if you guys are making this bot and trying to profit from it. You would have to break this CAPTCHA by hand as fast as you could. If not, try to find the source code for some of these CAPTCHAs and play with it that way. There's things that you can do depending on what Supreme is using for their CAPTCHA to get around this. But anyways, guys, so execution time came out to be around 14 seconds, so not too bad. It definitely could be better. Python is a little bit of a slower language. I think if you wrote it in a faster language, and you'll see when we write the program that if we do it in a slightly different way, we can get better performance. But anyways, let's get started with it here. So go ahead and open up terminal. So if you guys are on a Mac, you can go ahead and just press Command Spacebar and open up the terminal window. That will pull up this for you here. So let's go ahead and take this terminal window, and we're going to go ahead and type CD. This will bring us back to our main directory here. Then we're going to go ahead and change into desktop. So once we're in desktop, let's make a directory. And just to show you guys the commands, I know it went a little quickly. When you open up terminal, you can type CD, press enter, and then CD desktop with a backslash at the end, and press enter. Alright, so now that we've got that, let's go ahead and make our directory for working here. So we're going to type mkdir for make directory, and we're going to make a directory called Supreme Purchase Bot. Alright, and then we're going to type CD to go into Supreme Purchase Bot, and I just realized that this was pretty small for you guys, so let's go ahead and I'll size it up a little bit. There we go. So let's go ahead and CD into Supreme Purchase Bot. Alright, so now that we're in here, guys, we're going to go ahead and we're going to make our .py file, which is our file extension for a Python file. So let's go ahead and make our bot.py. So what I just did there when I typed bot.py is I opened it up in an editor called Vim. Now you guys can make this file in any editor you want: VS Code, Sublime, Notepad++, and even just regular old Notepad. Whatever you guys want to do, you can write that program in as long as you save it with a .py extension. Alright, so now that we're in our script here, so go ahead and just open up that .py file in whatever your project folder is, and we're going to get started. So let's go ahead and say from Selenium, import WebDriver. Alright, so this is going to bring in the WebDriver that will help launch our Chrome for us when we start off here. So now we're going to go ahead and download this Chrome driver into our folder. I'm going to leave this link for you guys in the description so you guys can do this. So you just go ahead and after you follow that link, click on this top link right here. And just for whatever computer you have or whatever operating system you're using, whether that's Linux, Mac, or Windows, you just go ahead and click that there. Okay, so now we can go ahead here and say, let's find this folder. Supreme Purchase Bot, great, and we're just going to go ahead and just save this Chrome driver in that folder. Just a sec. There we go. Okay, cool. So now we can go back to our terminal window here, and we can actually press :WQ if you're in Vim or Vi. Otherwise, just go ahead and navigate to that current directory or that current folder from the terminal again with the CD commands. So now we can go ahead here and we can run unzip and type out Chrome driver, or just hit CH and tab, and we can go ahead and press enter. And now when we type ls, we see we have our Chrome driver program right here, which is what we want. We're going to launch that from inside our Python script, and we're going to go from there. So let's go ahead and open up our .py file again. And so we're going to say from Selenium import WebDriver. Now we need to create our instance of Chrome. So we're going to say, first we're going to do some boilerplate Python. So if name equals main. So essentially, if we run this file here that we're going to call, let's go ahead and equal, let's see here. Let's go ahead and call our main function. So we're going to call that order. So we're just going to say order, and we're going to pass it in some configuration keys. So when we place this order, one sec, you guys. Just make sure I've got this right for you. Okay, so when we place our order, we want to go ahead and pass in a dictionary of configuration keys. So essentially, these are going to be things that are the fields that we want to fill out. So we'll go ahead and pull this up here. So when we add to cart, we want to press that button. We want to press checkout now, and then we want to fill out all of these fields here. So with our name, email, telephone, address, etc. So let's go ahead and create a Python dictionary so we can actually save those values. So let's go ahead and do another :WQ, or just close out that file. And now we're going to open up another file, and this one is going to be called config.py. It's also going to be within that folder. And in here we're going to put a Python dictionary with keys that are a unique identifier for each value that we want to enter into our order form when placing our orders. So we're going to say keys equals a dictionary, and we're going to have things like name, and that'll be like John, and we're going to have address or street, and you can put things like that. So we're going to go and see what fields we need exactly, and we're going to fill out that config in just a second here. So before we get started with that, we can just close out this right here. So just to give you a nice idea here, now we're going to import that. I actually should remove this comment right here. Now we're going to go ahead and import this into our bot. So we're going to say from config import keys. So now when we call this order function, we can actually pass as a parameter that object that contains the configuration for our order. Now why are we doing this? We're doing this because we don't want each order to necessarily have hard-coded configurations into it. We want to be able to customize each order, say with new cards and new names, new addresses, and be able to do that easy, which is why we're using a function to do this and calling it, passing in some configuration. So let's go ahead and we're going to call that order function that we're going to create, and we're going to pass in keys. So now let's go ahead here and say we're going to say def order to define that that function, and that's going to take, we're just going to use k to represent keys, the keys dictionary as it comes in. So we're going to say def order, and it's going to have k as a parameter. So let's go ahead here now and use Selenium. So first thing we want to do is we need to actually navigate to this URL right here. So let's go ahead now. In this case, guys, we want to, this is where you would go and you would just pick out what product URL you want. So I'm going to grab this one here, and I'm going to go ahead and right and quit this. I'm going to go ahead and open up our config.py, and then I'm going to add a key named product URL, and the value for that is just going to be this URL right here. We're going to add a comment at the end, clean it up a little bit, and back to our bot file. So right here, guys, now that we have that, we can actually use that URL that we specified in our config file as the destination for our Chrome driver to go to. So let's say driver equals webdriver.chrome to actually launch our instance of Chrome, and we're going to use that Chrome driver that we downloaded that's in our current directory. So we have driver equals webdriver.chrome. That's going to go ahead and launch our instance for us. Now we want to go ahead and say driver.get, and we want to go ahead and grab this URL right here. But actually, getting ahead of myself, we are grabbing that URL from the configuration that we passed. So we're going to say k and product URL. Let's just put that in quotes. Oops. Okay, so that should go ahead and navigate to our product URL page. Let's go ahead and right and close this and give it a shot. Now, if you guys haven't yet, you do need to install the Selenium package with pip. So you just go pip install Selenium, and that will go ahead and install that for you. I've already installed it on my computer here, but should be good to go. And then we go ahead just making sure we know their packages. So then we can run python bot.py. Let's see, Chrome executable needs to be in path. So let's go ahead here and check out Make sure I need to add this right here so it knows to look in the current directory, and we'll try that again. Okay, so here we go. Our instance of Chrome has been launched and it goes right to that page. So we're on the right track here so far. Next thing we need to do is actually press that, let's see here, we need to press this add to cart button, and then we need to go ahead and check out now. So let's go ahead and open up our bot again here. And we're going to go ahead here and say, now we want to find ways to press those buttons. So we need to come up with unique ways that we can actually identify those buttons on the page. And we are going to find them by something known as XPath. So what XPath is essentially a way to target specific tags in an XML or HTML document, and Selenium has that baked in functionality for us, so we can use that to directly target the buttons we need to and click them with just a couple functions. So let's go ahead here and say driver.findElement by XPath. And you guys will see while I'm using XPath in just a second here. It makes it very easy to get these up and going very quickly here. So we can say driver.findElement by XPath. Let's put just an empty string in there for now, and we're going to save that. We're going to take this here, and we're going to see how many fields we actually need to find here. So we can go ahead and say add to cart 1, check out now, 2, name 3, email 4, telephone 5, address 6, apartment or unit potentially 7, zip code 8, city 9. Let's see, city actually is going to autofill for us though, so 8, and then number 9, CVV 10. And okay, that looks good. Okay, and we are going to need to target these dates right here, which we can do as well. So let's go ahead here and find by XPath. We have 10 of them, so let's go ahead and just copy that 10 times. So just go ahead and copy that 10 times, you guys, and we've got that. That's a neat little trick in Vim, but again, let's go ahead and put that. So now we're going to go ahead and actually fill out the XPath for each of these things that we want to grab here. So let's go ahead here and take a look at this add to cart. So what we're going to do here is click inspect. We're going to right click, click inspect, and use the Chrome developer tools to copy the XPath to target that unique element, which we can then use when we're running our bot. So let's go ahead here, we'll check this out, inspect, and you guys can see we have this input right here. It'll highlight the actual element we're looking for. We can just click copy and copy by XPath. So once we do that, we can go ahead here and we can just insert that XPath in there, and that will go ahead and find that button for us. And then we actually want to click that add to cart button, so we're just going to call .click after that. Okay, so once we add it to cart, let's see, this is our next button. So again, we're going to go right click, click inspect, go to the console, elements. Sometimes it won't highlight it right away, guys, so you got to inspect it twice. There we go, and now we can go copy, copy by XPath, bring this right down here, and we're going to paste that right in. Alright, so this one we also want to click. So this .click is again just a function from Selenium that allows you to, we're finding that element by its XPath, so we're traversing that HTML tree to find the specific element, and then we're going ahead and just calling the .click from Selenium to click that. So let's go ahead here, and now we've got our checkout now. So now we've got all these fields. So let's go ahead here and inspect this, and we're going to copy this here by its XPath. We're going to put this XPath right here. We're going to do the same for every single one of these fields. So let's just go ahead and do that now. So let's see here. And I also want to, while we're doing this, you guys, I want to go ahead and specify. So another function from Selenium we're going to be using, we've used click, we've used find element by XPath, we've used the WebDriver to launch the instance of Chrome, and now we're going to use send keys. So send keys is how it's actually going to type into a specific field that it's found. So in this case, we just want to send our key for our email. So let's go ahead and just say key and email. So that will reference our email, and we're going to go back to our config file and add that in just a second. So here, order billing name, we're just going to send keys. Let's send K and our name. And let's see here. Looks good. Okay, so next up here we've got our email XPath. Let's find our XPath for our telephone number. Okay. And we're going to send the keys to this one. That's going to be K and phone number. Okay, so next up here, we're going to go ahead and find this one, then add our send keys. So we're on address, and we're going to copy XPath, and we'll add that right in there. send keys, and then we're going to send again from our referencing our config the object that we import from our config.py file, referencing the specific attribute that we need here. So okay, let's see, this one bo is, which one is that? Let's see here. Okay, that was this one right here, right? Okay, so this is going to be k and address. Okay, so next up here, we're going to go ahead and find our next element. So we've got our unit number. If you guys don't have a unit number, you don't need to do that one. In my case, I don't. So you can just do the same exact thing. So just copy the XPath, go ahead and paste that in. This does get a little bit repetitive here, guys, but that's what you are going to be working with if you do a lot of web scraping. It's just a lot of finding elements. So let's go ahead here in our zip, and we're going to send our zip key from our config file. And there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and just run this for you guys. We can, oh, actually, let's make sure that my syntax is okay here. So we're not going to be using these. We're just ordering with our keys that we imported from WebDriver. Okay. So let's see how far we get here. So I'm just heading back, I'm closing out my file, and I'm running python bot.py. So here we go, our Chrome pops up at the bottom, and let's see. So we got added to cart, and we got an error. So message, let's see what our error message is here. It looks like it is element not intractable, so it couldn't seem to find that checkout. Let's see here. Couldn't seem to find this checkout now element. So let's go ahead and add in a little bit of sleep. So I'm going to open up that file again. I'm going to import the time library, which is a standard library included with Python, and we're going to go ahead here and just put a time.sleep after we add to cart. So let's sleep for a second here, and then we'll see how that works. So when we click add to cart, just to show you guys what we're working with here, when we click add to cart, you see it takes almost a second for this checkout now button to appear in the top left. So we want to delay our script so that it has time for that to appear and it can come back and find that. So now let's go ahead and run our script here. So here we go, add to cart clicked, checkout now, okay. And now that it's slept, it'll get right through that. Now it's finding our name fields, sending that text. Let's see here, we have another error. It looks like cannot key error email. Okay, so I didn't add the email key yet to my config. So let's go ahead here and just add that, and let's put my email in here. Actually, we don't need that one. Okay, so we added that key, and let's see what other keys that we still need to add. So I'm just opening my bot up again here, and we're going to see we have email, phone number, address, and zip code currently. So let's go ahead. I'm going to open up that config again, and let's go ahead here and say, I should really be using two Vim windows, the side-by-side opening. I know, guys, I know. So anyways here, for this, let's go ahead and add our address and zip. So address, this is going to be our street address, so we'll just say, yeah, I was just using Forest Hills Drive before, and let's see here, we have, what else? Address, and we have our zip code. So let's go ahead and use a zip code, 60123412345. 12345. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead now and run this with our new configuration here. And oh, we got a little invalid syntax, config.py, forgot my commas. There we go, get rid of that one, and here we go. Okay, so here we go, we're launching, we're checking it out. We have our add to cart, we have our checkout now being pressed, we have our name, email. Okay, another error. Let's see here, so phone number. So let's go ahead here, and we don't have a phone number key, it looks like, in our configs. We're going to open that up, and let's add that now. And let's throw in something like this. None of these things are specific to me, guys, so if you want to shoot me a text, don't send it to that number because it won't work. Let's see here. You can send me an email though. Feel free to send me an email, you guys. So let's see here. So we've got what we're working with. We got our bot. Let's go ahead and run our bot now with our new configuration. See how far we get, and then we're going to go ahead and try to finish this up here. So let's see. We got to this page. Email, telephone, address, zip code. Looks good. Looks good. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead here, and we got a few more elements to go. So let's go ahead and grab these last few here. We got our city, so the city actually autofills due to the zip code. That's something I saw when I was testing this out earlier, so we don't have to worry about that for now. So let's go ahead here and inspect this. We're going to grab the path for where we are going to put our card numbers when we put them in here. Let's see, inspect. I've never ordered off Supreme. I think I heard something about that you need to use a unique card for each order. I think they do something like that. So depending on what they do, you guys go ahead and set up several different objects with unique card numbers in each, and then when you run your script, you can go ahead and call that order function on each unique object that has the unique card numbers, so you guys can get around that requirement. I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not. That's something I heard. So let's go ahead here and we'll add this last few. So we got our config.py. We're going to go ahead here and add our numbers. We're going to call this card number, and we're just going to add that in there. Oops. Oh, I just got the XPath. Oops. Oh boy. Okay, so let's go ahead here and we'll add that here. And get rid of this right there. So now that we've got that, we're going to go ahead and send keys, which are going to be K, referencing again our card number in our dictionary. So let's go ahead and do that. Open up config again, and we're going to go ahead here, get rid of this, and we're going to add in some random numbers. Okay. So let's see here. We got a few more fields to go. So let's go ahead here, and we're going to grab next our CVV. So let's go ahead and inspect that. Again, sometimes it won't jump to it. Sometimes you have to click inspect twice. Let's grab that. We're going to copy by XPath, and then we're going to go ahead and open up our config.py. We're going to add this card CVV key to this dictionary here, and we're just going to call that it's just a three-letter or three numbers in your CVV, and then we're going to open up our bot again here, and we're going to go ahead and paste in that XPath that we grabbed earlier, and then we're going to go ahead and send the keys here that are going to be, oops, let's go ahead and just try to scroll down here so you guys can see. Okay, so now we're going to go up here, and we're going to send the keys that are K at card CVV. Okay, and we got a couple more to go here. So now let's go ahead here and find our process payments. So this is going to be our final element here that will actually go ahead and submit our order and bring up that captcha that we need to fill out. So we're going to find that by XPath, and we're going to click that. Okay, so let's go ahead here. We got a few more things to do. I think we got to go ahead and click this here. So let's go ahead and inspect this element. And we'll try clicking that. Okay, so we've got, let's see what we got here. So it looks like we got our name, we have our email, telephone address, zip code, city, state. We need to go ahead and take a look at this here. So these are drop downs. These are going to be a little different here, but let's check this out. So these should all have values for the options. Yep, and let's go ahead and just find this. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab this right here. going to go ahead and try to let's set that. So let's see, how do we want to do this here? So how do we want to set an option here in our drop down? So we probably just want to have this element be clicked here. Let's see if it can directly do that. My guess is it's only changing the value of this drop down, so we could actually directly change the value of this drop down potentially, but let's see here, ID, order billing state. Yeah, so let's go ahead, let's give this a shot here. Let's see if we can directly select this one. So again, this is just for the state here, so let's go ahead, just put state and leave some comments here. This one is going to be our this is our terms and conditions, and here we've got our final one, which is our process payment. Okay, add some space here, and let's give this thing a shot. Okay, going, everything looks good. When's the error message going to appear? That is always the question. Okay. It looks like something didn't execute here, so let's see. Okay, cool. So that looks pretty good. Looks like we actually got through most of what we need to. Let's go ahead, process payment, click. Okay. So let's see, what do we have left to do here? So let's take a look. Let's go Supreme. Okay, so CVV. Okay, so we want to set these ones. So we can just go ahead and inspect here as well. So what I just realized, guys, is that too these are going to be hard programmed into your these are going to be hard programmed into the bot, these states and things when you're selecting these ways here. So what we could do that would get around that is say make a dictionary that corresponds with the website. So we could say like states, we could say like web states, and it would have something like CT, and then we'd have this right here, which makes it unique. So we could have CT would be 8. And I assume that each options, they just start at like 1 or start at 0, and so you have like AL 0, etc. And then for each state, and then it would just go ahead and we could replace this little piece right here. We could format that uniquely. That's a little bit outside of the scope of what we're doing right here, but if we wanted to make this whole function more reusable, that would be definitely something to do. So again, let's see what we still have to do here. We want to set these. We want to set your card numbers. And again, the reason I was just talking about that with the states, guys, is that because when it comes to the card expirations, it's going to be the exact same as well. So we need to just go ahead. So again, just create, like, if you guys want to make it very reusable, create a dictionary and go ahead and specify it based on these option values, and then you can go ahead and replace the unique part of the XPath. So we could say, like, say your card expires on 6, we could say copy and then copy by XPath. That will pull up, let's see what kind of unique, let's see what we get here. Oops. Okay. So like this, you see this option 6. So when we have that in our XPath, it's going to select it like that. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And in this case, 6 just corresponds with the month. So in this case, this would be like month. And then we can go ahead and say dot format, and we could say would say something like dot format month equals K month. Okay, and then we put something like, we could either put month in there like this, or we could just put like 0 or just nothing at all and just do something like that. Okay, so this would be like the XPath string right here for finding that unique or filling it uniquely based on the month. So we could actually just add that now. Let's go ahead and do that just because that's a little bit cleaner and I like that a little better. So let's go ahead and just say month, and we're going to say driver.find element by XPath, and we're going to go ahead and grab this right here. So we're just going to go and do that, and we can do this. Oops. Okay. So we got that. We're formatting that right there. So that should actually be the exact XPath for each unique month right here. Let's just expand this out. And now we got to add that K to our config file, and then we're just going to go ahead and click this element as well. Okay, so that will go ahead and add a unique month. We can go ahead here to config.py, add card month, card x mo, and we'll just put 12, and we'll say card. We'll see if we can do the same thing with the years. I'm going to assume that you can. So let's check that out. So we got card expiration year, and we got just 1996. That would be an expired card, guys, so don't do that, but that's my birthday year, so. Alright, so let's go ahead and open up bot.py here, and let's see here. So now let's see if we can do that same thing. So this is going to be not our month, but our year, and we're going to say driver.find element by XPath, and we're going to go ahead, and that's not the one I want. So let's go ahead and grab the one that we do want here. So let's grab this, inspect, and we can just take a look right here, and we're going to see that year, option value 2018. Okay, so these values are about the same here. So, okay. So let's go ahead and check this out here. So let's go ahead and grab this XPath, and we're going to grab this here. Paste that in. So that's the one for 2018. That's our 2019. That's option 2. So we really have we have 2018 to 2028 options. So we'd say we have 10 options starting with 2018. So that's something that we'd want to document, put in documentation for your configuration or just your own reminder. But so we have option 2 in this case is going to be 2019. This we can go ahead and we'll do .format. K, and we're going to do year. Oh, I got to fix up the naming of the config key as well. This month right here, this should be that card exp mo. Okay, card exp yr. Okay, cool. Let me just downsize this a little bit. You guys can see everything. Okay, cool. So we've got our card experience month, our card expiration year. We want to go ahead and click, and these are going to be like this. Now we can go to our config file and make a note for ourselves. So we can say like, let's go ahead and say, let's make a long comment at the top here. And this is going to be currently as of the date today. So this is what, October 6th. We could say something like 10/6/2018. Supreme allows for 2018 through 2028 as card expiration years. These years are let's see. So we have, when it comes to our XPath. So again, just for a quick reminder to myself. Okay, so that's going to be, they start at 1, so these years are 1 to 10 in the XPath selector for that drop down. So we can say, and we'll just really add something. So we could say in this dictionary here, then we'd want to go ahead and do something like this. So we'd say card expiration year would not be 1996. If we wanted that to be, say, 2018, we would just put 1 right here, and then that should be able to do it. We can just leave a comment, see docs above. Okay, so let's see how far we get here. Line 26, invalid syntax. Let's go ahead here, 26. So we've got our year, find XPath, dot format. Ah, we need an extra parentheses right here. And let's see if I did it there. I'm assuming I might have done it somewhere else as well. Yep, add another one there. Okay, and let's try that out. Line 17, our config, we have invalid syntax, missing a comma right here, and let's do it. Okay, so here we go, navigating to our page, getting it, here we go, name, email, name's got to contain first and last name. I'm guessing that's why process payment wasn't necessarily working earlier. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and add to our config.py file. So we have a few issues, it looks like here. Add to cart. Check out now. Name, email, telephone number, address. We're almost there, guys. Adding that. CVV, changing our expiration date, calculating ship and handle. Okay, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. So the question now is why is that closing out on us? So let's go ahead and check that out. So we've got our bot here. Goes ahead and changes our month, changes our year, changes our state. This also should be not like this. That's another one example, just like we did, where if we wanted to make this function completely reusable, we would figure out how the keys work on the site and then go ahead and change that in the dictionary. That can be the same way. I'm not going to do that now just because this video is actually running a little longer than I had initially expected here, but let's go ahead and see what we can do to finish this up here. We have our driver find element by XPath pay click. So the question is, why is that having issues here? So let's go ahead. We're going to run this one more time, and we're going to pay careful attention to why this might close out. So add to cart, check out, fill out everything. I'm thinking this process payment, because after this is clicked, for some reason this Chrome browser is closed completely. Okay, so I clicked it that time just to make sure that it wouldn't, that I had no issues there. Element not clickable at point, other element would receive click. Okay, that's what we need to okay, that might have been because I clicked it. Alright. Let's go ahead and run this again. See what's going on. Okay, come on. That's very odd. I'm not quite sure why Chrome is closing right now. Let's see, we're finding this last process payment and click, and when we click that, we should be pulling up with that CAPTCHA immediately. I'm not entirely sure why that's not working like it is, but I'm gonna try to maybe take a look at that, and I'll leave that in the comments or the description for you guys. I'm not sure why that is. I'll also leave a link to the full version that I did myself that 100% clicks through, goes to that CAPTCHA. I could take a quick look right now, but I'm just not seeing pay click. Oh, you know what it is? It's because this driver is in here. Let's go ahead and put this outside of the scope of this function here, because otherwise that's just going to close out as soon as that function is done with its execution. So that is actually our problem right there, guys. So let's go ahead and run this again and see it work from finish to start right here. So we go ahead, we add to cart, we're going in, checking out, filling out the fields. And again, guys, this is actually, I'm not super happy with how slow it's typing right now. Generally, Selenium is a little bit faster with the send keys, and I'm confused why it's doing that. It might be faster to actually implement this in a lower level language like C or C++, just if you guys are really going for speed and performance. So again, this is where you guys would take over, select all the pictures by cars, and hopefully save your guys some time and actually be able to get this product if you want to either buy it before it gets sold out or flip it. Besides that, you guys, just a quick little thing I want to throw in here. So we have this function right here, time me. Essentially what this is a Python decorator, and we can add that to our order function by going ahead and saying at time me. And what that's going to do is actually time the execution of this function from start to finish here. So we can go ahead and see what it'll spit out at the end. If you guys are really trying to improve like performance, or if the situation gets worse as far as getting these products, getting our hands on these products, then go ahead and try it in a lower level language and try timing it. So you can see our execution time is about 15 seconds. So probably faster than a lot of people can type. Definitely faster than I can probably type. But so it definitely saves you time and will help you get the product. And you can also set it to launch specifically at, say, 11 o'clock when the product drop happens. So a lot of stuff you can do here. You can also try to sell it to people. Other people might want to buy this. But yeah, that about sums it up. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope if you guys try to get your hands on some of that clothing, you can do it, or want to flip it, you can do it with this bot. And I hope this serves as like a cool introduction to something neat that you can use programming for, so that you can get more out of life. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Any questions or comments, leave them below. Love to hear from you guys, and thanks. Have a great night.